If the focus is a little bit crazy this video, it's because I have a little guest appearance. DIY doesn't just cost you money, it costs you weekends, late nights, and a lot more time than you realize. And I think it's time for you to reconsider. And I know what you're thinking, Grace, I have $3 to my name for a budget of a wedding that is fast approaching. What else can I do? Well, let's get into it. Hello everyone, my name's Grace and I'm the founder and owner of Budget Wedding Stories, where we help couples like you have incredible memories for affordable prices. Now, I want you to reconsider your time. If you work a full-time job, or if you're a bit more of a subcontractor or even a sole trader like me, you probably have an idea of how much you cost per hour. A little bit less so for my full-time employees, but I think you divide that number by 2,050 and you get pretty much your full-time salary down to your per hour rate. For a lot of people, it's around that $30 an hour mark. Some are 40, some are 50, 60, and $150 plus if you're a bit more of a specialist. Now, your time is valuable. It's not only moments taken away from your family and children, it's also mental effort, strain, the ability to recover, time that you could be spending on projects, hobbies, stuff like that. And wedding planning is a wonderful hobby. It's a wonderful project to embark on, but it is a big one and it can often get quite out of hand, especially when you're trying to save money. So I really encourage you to question, what is your time worth? And if you're rich and wonderful, it would be nice. You know what? It would be nice if we could all afford a planner, but I know that's not realistic. So for the bride who isn't able to DIY everything, isn't able to afford a planner, and probably doesn't have the best support network, I have a few tips and tricks for your consideration that I hope helps make wedding planning that little bit easier. Here we go. Let's get clear on what actually is important. What is your priorities? Because in doing so, we really reduce the mental load. Is your priority to have fabulous photos? Is it to have an incredible dress? Do you want a big celebration with all of your friends and family, or do you just want to get married and maybe with a couple of pics afterwards? Being actually clear on you and your future spouse's vision really clarifies what actually is important, and it really helps the wedding planning process because it lays out what you should be actually focusing on. And I know it's really basic, but really just sit down. Are there any mental images that you really think of when you think of your wedding day? Do you have any family priorities that you have to factor in? For example, I knew of a bride who her parents were paying for the entire reception, but she had to invite these 15 exact people that were family friends. And so it's the wrestle of, okay, well, I can have this, but I also have to accommodate for this. Thinking about those things, do you have any cultural like things or traditions that you want to incorporate to your day? Those are all things to think about. What are the vibes for your day? Do you want it to be calm? Do you want it to be fun? Do you want it to be romantic? Do you want it to be sporadic? Do you want it to be dazzling? Like, really think about what your day is actually going to be like, feel like, kind of come off as. And really think about what ultimately remains from your wedding day. Do you want some good photos? Do you want good food? Do you want everyone to talk about this one little thing that you incorporated? Do you want Instagrammable moments? What is it? Really get clear about your vision for your wedding day and kind of write it down. Be one of those people, actually handwrite it down and get really clear about what you want for your wedding day. Now, what's next? Also a part of getting clear, really clarify your timeline. The major one is, when does the ceremony officially start? From there, you can work backwards and you can work forwards. So for example, from there, you can figure out how long it takes for you to get to the ceremony from your prep location, which gives you that travel time. Then you can figure out, well, what time do I need to have my hair and makeup done by? Then what's next is figuring out some buffer time. I would normally recommend about half an hour if stuff hits the fan. Then from there, you need to be in your dress, and then from there you can figure out when your hair and makeup needs to be ready, and then from there you can figure out when the first bridesmaid needs to do their hair and makeup. So you work backwards, and then you do the same on the other side. All right, the ceremony takes half an hour, so After that, then we have another 40 minutes for family photos. Then we have 15 minutes of buffer time. Then we have another 40 minutes for bridal shots, and then an extra 20 minutes for couples photos. And then you have your reception, travel to reception and stuff like that. Really clarify your timeline, because you may find out, hey, I can actually drop half an hour of coverage for my photographer if I just clear up this one bit. And then after that, just being brutally honest, I'd recommend dropping everything else. I give you permission to. In fact, do it. It will save you so much headspace. Either assign it to someone else and just kind of let it go to the wind. All right. Now, I know I said before, this is for the brides who's kind of flaky, but if you are a part of a wonderful community, tap into your support network, your friends, your family, your co-workers, the random people that go to the clubs that you do. Be humble. Don't be a jack. Be like, hey, I just need some help with this. Do you have any ideas on it? If you want a certain color, if you want a certain type of flower, if you want a certain supplier, this is the time to clarify those things. And make sure that you do it in one big message. Don't send multiple messages with conflicting ums and ahs. And just send one major message. And if you are going to do your conflicting messages with ums and ahs, make sure you dot point clarify at the end. I want lilies. I want them with a side of baby's breath. I don't want a main bouquet, but I want aisle flowers and runners. Always assume that no one's going to remember it unless it is written. So be really clear, be really written, and look, if it doesn't get done, really just let the pressure of that go. On top of that, utilize AI. We're in a fantastic world for it. Spreadsheets, timelines, vendor recommendations. Literally, here I'm looking for a photographer under this budget in my area. What can you find? It's not perfect with its searching of vendors in the local area I've found, so try a few different prompts, but it's vastly more helpful than Google. So just be aware of that. Get it to summarize things for you. Get it to, maybe you ask in a local brides group, hey, can I have a recommendation for a dress shop? And you get 500 comments. Get AI, just take a bunch of screenshots and get AI to summarize them all for you and list it out. Of the most recommended to the least recommended. Just try out other things like that just to make your day a little bit easier. I'm honestly convinced that you can plan an entire wedding in an afternoon with the help of AI, if I'm being brutally honest. Vendors are very helpful, not just cost but time. Look for your all-inclusive vendors, the ones that cover the setup, the pack down, maybe the chairs and tables or the cutlery. Do they include food? Maybe it's worth spending that little bit more rather than spending hours upon hours individually organizing every single component. Ultimately, at the end of the day, redefine success. A successful marriage, a successful wedding day is you getting married, you alive and safe at the end of it, and you not struggling to pay your mortgage the following week or your rent, depending on how Australian you are. Because let's be real, a wedding day is a single day. Please, it's a beautiful day, it's a wonderful day, it's an awesome day, and it's a very important day for many. But don't let it be the end of your marriage before it even begins. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope that there's been some tips in there. Be sure to stick around if they have, and I'll see you in the next video.